Weary traveler, ease your sufferings and sit down but for a few moments. Let me tell you a tale of the splendor of an ancient age, the dark era that followed, and a mysterious prophecy that foretells the return of the days of old. The great sages tell of a mystical order of enlightened beings that ruled the earth in happier times. The sages collectively refer to members of this order as the Forerunners. Much of the wisdom of the Forerunners has been lost to the sands of time, but legends of their prosperity and the splendor of their benevolent reign have not faded entirely. It is said that their descendants still walk among us, and it is prophesied that a chosen one among them will one day restore the glory of their golden age. What distinguished the Forerunners from the common man was their undeniable oneness with the universe. It is said that such a state can only be achieved through an act of immense patience and devotion, the act of growing an unrivaled, flowing mane. Those who managed to achieve this feat were said to have attained Hair Nirvana, and their wisdom was sought after by all possessing sound body and mind. Just as spring turns to summer and summer gives way to fall, so too did the time of the Forerunners yield to a darker, blander era. Hair during these times was short, unimaginative, and as soulless as the sheep that wandered aimlessly about in those days. But out of this period of desolation and despair would emerge a renegade, one who was blessed with the aesthetics of years long since past. His hair was golden and majestic. The other children looked upon it with awe. It was whispered that this child might be the one to reclaim the throne of the Forerunners and bring about an end to the era of blandness and short hair. Sadly, such hopes seemed to fade, and the child's locks would be cast out and abandoned for a style that was deemed acceptable among the commoners of his time. The child had come to forget the glory that was his youth. Nevertheless, as the child navigated his way into manhood, beacons were strategically placed along his path, sending him subliminal reminders of the burden he was foretold to bear. Young Flercules would constantly hear his name seemingly butchered,
Mr. Flerky.
and this would put him at great unease. Reluctantly, he came to understand that embedded within his name was an inescapable destiny, a calling that would only grow stronger as the years passed. Boy became man, and after a quarter century had come and gone, the man realized that he now possessed the strength and the presence of mind necessary to fulfill his destiny and restore the glorious age of the Forerunners. Flercules made a sacred vow that he would not rest until he had attained Hair Nirvana. The path, although at times not easily navigable, eventually revealed itself to the chosen one. At first, his hair would need to dwell in a land of grittiness, toughness, concrete, and steel, so that it would develop the resolve needed to unveil the great truth. And so it was that for many months the hair was molded and shaped by this harsh, unforgiving landscape. But eventually, a time came when the hair had been forged to the extent required to develop an unyielding character, and a new phase of development was ordained. In a dream, it was revealed to Flercules that he should venture to a far-off land, an untamed wilderness that had been left unscathed by man. Here, the hair would be allowed to flourish and acquire the wild and glorious flow that was the hallmark of the Forerunners. In this sacred place, Flercules would learn to let go of all that which modern man considers worthwhile and industrious, so that he might find himself and be baptized in Superior's waters. And thus, all these visions inevitably came to pass. Having attained Hair Nirvana, what mortals call time and space no longer has any meaning to me. I view all that was, is, and ever will be, just as a weaver looks upon an exquisite tapestry. All things are interwoven. There is no distinction between past, present, and future. The enlightened among us transcend such constructs. They are content merely to be. Having revealed this truth to you, I understand that you may not yet fully grasp its meaning. For those who have not yet experienced the Great Awakening, the transformation that you are about to witness has been arranged in what an unenlightened seeker might refer to as chronological order. Each image follows the next, and every image seems to exist independently. But look from deep within yourself, and you will see that each image is intertwined with one another. All represent the infinitely many manifestations of Hair Nirvana in its divine glory. May this experience rekindle the spirit within you, and may it guide you on the path to Hair Nirvana. But know this, no two paths to enlightenment are alike, and none reveal themselves in ways one might anticipate. Just as a river meanders its way through the land before emptying into the great ocean of truth and righteousness, so too must you meander before you find Hair Nirvana. My brothers and I will be waiting for you.